south of the border. Their racy love scenes add some Latin-flavored spice to the best of the Entertainment Tonight cover story.
Dios mío.
Dime que me quieres.
Sizzling soap operas Latin style. Telenovelas are taking the world by storm. Tens of millions of Mexicans, Brazilians, and Argentinians are hooked on these passionate stories of love, greed, revenge, honor, and deception. But these shows are proving to be global powerhouses, popular in such diverse places as Russia, the Philippines, Africa, Australia, Canada, and Great Britain.
Usually the theme is the Cinderella concept, where a boy meets girl, boy loses girl, because there's always a villain in between. And at the end, they're together, and they usually get married and live happily ever after. So there's a very positive ending.
Also adding to the appeal, hunky hombres and sexy senoritas. They're a staple of the genre. Former Chip star Erik Estrada credits his part in Dos Mujeres Un Camino with revitalizing his career.
What came out in the first week and a half on airing was #1 for 14 months straight in the Spanish television, the highest rated, longest running telenovela in the history of Latin television.
Unlike American soaps, these stories end usually after a 3 to 6 month run, like the popular show Maria Selena, shot on location in Miami, and the key ingredients are clearly evident.
The couple are very attractive. The whole concept is it's a love story. So obviously there's a lot of sexual situations, and it's a big part of the appeal.
Typical telenovelas cost just $20,000 to $50,000 to produce, far less than the usual $1 million or more for a Hollywood one-hour drama. And because the sexual situations are implied as opposed to explicit, these are shows the whole family can watch.
They can fantasize it and get so engrossed in that they want to tune in tomorrow to find out what happened to their life.
You want to know how big the telenovelas have become around the world? One of the companies that produces them claims the soaps are now Mexico's biggest export.
There were the days when David Cassidy could not go outside without being mobbed by fans. Then there were the days when David Cassidy simply could not go outside. The former teen idol was trapped in the depths of a dark depression. But now he's back, and he tells us how he made it in the best of the Entertainment Tonight cover story.
There's a handful of people in the world that really understand what that's like, where you can't go anywhere, you can't walk down the street, where they're selling your garbage. They're going through your garbage, where they're selling your sheets. You can't register as anyone. You can't tell the operator it's you.
David Cassidy says there was a very dark side to being a teen idol. He melted hearts all over the world when he played Keith Partridge in the 70s sitcom The Partridge Family. His picture graced every teen magazine. He sold 25 million records and was the highest paid solo live performer by the time he was 21. But the tragic death of his father, actor Jack Cassidy, in a fire in 1976, and the cancellation of his series left him in dark despair.
I felt the darkness when I lost my dad, I lost my career, I lost everything. The world that I knew was gone. And I sat in my room for 9 months and went, I don't know what to do.
Eventually, Hollywood stopped calling, and David knew he needed help.
I call it the dark years for me. It took me a few years. Analysis was extremely helpful to me. But you have to get to a place where you're ready to do that. You have to know I'm sick inside. I want to get well.
With the demons of the past behind him, David is now riding the wave of a huge comeback. He has a new album which features some remakes of his greatest hits. He is also the star of the $40 million Las Vegas musical extravaganza, FX.
Someone said, so how does it feel to be Mr. Las Vegas? And I thought, huh? Yeah, that's it. Frank, Dean, Sammy, and me.
The show plays to sellout crowds, and David says he's happier than he has ever been, and finally enjoying every minute in the spotlight.
I'm having the best decade of my life now. I mean, by far. I'm driving the bus this time. It's not driving me.
I think I love you. David's album, Old Trick, New Dog, is in stores now, and here's proof he still has it. A recent VH1 Behind the Music special on David was one of the highest rated installments of that series.
Michael Douglas and Samuel L. Jackson have discovered a way to escape the Hollywood fast lane, but that does not mean a holiday from that old Hollywood cutthroat competition. The slicing, hooking, chipping, and putting was fast and furious at Samuel L. Jackson's celebrity golf tournament in Bermuda. The early leader was the guy with the hot putter, Michael Douglas.
That was a putter right there.
Putting awesome.
Yeah.
Putting awesome. Just goes to show you. I just never putt this well in my life. It's early still. We'll see what happens.
Oh, my. See, I'm right by the ladies' tees, which is where I belonged in the beginning.
In fact, from the looks on the faces of Jonathan Silverman, Alfonso Ribeiro, and Jackson himself, the only birdies on this golf course come with wings.
I'm making all the mistakes on the team.
This is a nice host, man. He makes you look good.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? He says
I had a 10 on the last hole, so everybody would feel really great.
Boy, if I screw this up, you're going to get this on videotape, aren't you? There's no way around it. Woo! Money shot!
Entertainment tonight, that's heavy-duty stuff. I mean, Bob Goins' a giant golfer, and I hope he doesn't see some of this footage. Well, how about that 8-inch putt?
I'll mess it up, watch. Ah, you shot.
For the cameras, look at that man go. That's in the hole. That's in the hole, baby.
I'm just playing my game today. I'm just going to stay focused, hit it deep, hit it straight.
Good golf or bad, this island paradise was not a bad place to swing a club.
You don't see water that color, like, you know, around Newark.
Now, if only those darn little white balls went a little straighter.
It was a humbling experience today.
Looks like my golf. Sam's Tournament benefits charities in Bermuda and a nonprofit organization in New York that works with underprivileged kids.
Next on E.T.,
I didn't want to look bad in front of the guy who directed Braveheart.
Chris Rock on trying to impress Mel Gibson on the set of Lethal Weapon 4, and on how it felt to be Eddie Murphy's guinea pig. Plus,
I can be cheeky and I can be mischievous.
the big screen's newest small star takes on a classic story and an Oscar winner next on E.T. Now on E.T., a rare look at the Kennedy family's private enclave through the eyes of RFK's son.
I do remember being with him, which is the important thing.
A son's pain, a father's pride. It's an emotional journey back to Camelot as E.T. is given an exclusive tour of the Kennedy compound.
Would the world be different today if my father had lived? I think the answer is definitely yes.
You've seen her mete out justice in the courtroom, but does Judge Judy hold a firm grip on the gavel at home?
I felt he was lucky before, and I think he's twice as lucky now.
From her husband to her kids, a revealing look at TV's most outspoken legal eagle. Plus, a 4th of July fireworks spectacular. A new documentary blows the lid off the best-kept secrets of those who light up the sky.
Chris Rock, he's doubling down with 2 blockbusters at once. From Dr. Dolittle with Eddie to Lethal Weapon 4 and Mel. Chris cuts to the chase on getting down and dirty in the big time.
I'm not physical.
Yeah, you're not hanging at the gym day.
And my woman will tell you that.
And then the hottest 4-legged star on public TV saddles up to run circles around Chris Raggy.
But I've got to conduct this interview. Don't make this tough on me. Woo! I tell you what, I'm going to stay for about 2 seconds, and then I'm going to run away again.
Welcome back to the 4th of July weekend edition of Entertainment Tonight as Chris Rock smart Alex's way through Mel Gibson's new Lethal Weapon movie and pays a hilarious house call on Eddie Murphy's Dr. Dolittle. I'm Tony Potts, in for Bob Goins.
And for Julie Moran, I'm Jan Carl. Get ready to rock this month. Everywhere you turn, Chris Rock will be on the big screen. He's already helping to make Eddie Murphy's 90s take on Dr. Dolittle one of the early hits of summer. And now he's giving Mel Gibson and Danny Glover a run for their money in the new Lethal Weapon 4.
I call it an equal, because it's equal to the first.
Equal to the first.
Hey, Riggs, who's the perp? What'd you bust him for?
Oh, I'm a perp? Oh, you see a young brother in the back of the police car, automatically I'm a perp? Look at my suit. Look at my tie. What do I look like, the Crips accountant?
Chris Rock joins the lethal team as a young cop on a murder case.
Sergeant Riggs, Sergeant Murtaugh, what are you guys doing there?
Oh, it's a long story.
So you get the call. What's the first thing you do?
The first thing I do is turn it down.
You are so full of it.
I did, because
No, you
I
did not.
thought they wanted me to be a villain. I thought they wanted me to, like, be a drug addict or something. I had no idea they would possibly want me to play a cop, but just my mind didn't go there. As soon as I said cop, I'm like, let's do it. Get out, get out, get out, get out, man. First of all, I'm not physical.
Yeah, you're not hanging at the gym day.
My woman will tell you that. No, not really a physical guy. So a lot of the stuff was really hard. I was sore, man, just fighting all day.
But Chris does admit to a case of nerves when faced with superstar Mel.
I was more nervous of Mel because he's a director than because he's Mel Gibson.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't want to look bad in front of the guy who directed Braveheart.
Chris did double duty this time. While being lethal, he also had an appointment with Dr. Dolittle and was the voice of the guinea pig.
Whoa! Hold it! Stop! You're talking, and I understand you.
So when they called and said, hey, we want you to be the guinea pig.
Well, I've been the guinea pig my whole life. So it was not a big stretch.
Who's this?
I'll give you a hint. I'm cute, I'm furry, and I make 500 babies a year. I was in a booth the whole time. I was in a booth doing Dr. Dolittle, because I was doing Lethal Weapon at the same time.
Chris says he felt positive about being part of the lethal force.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Would you do it again?
Would I do it again? I would love to do it again. Yeah, let's do Lethal 5. Why not?
Lethal Weapon 4 opens Friday. As for Chris Rock's future plans, he told one reporter he's ready to jump on the Titanic bandwagon. He wants to star in a new disaster flick about long-lost lovers who reunite and take a romantic voyage across the Atlantic. It'd be called Hindenburg. He's joking, we think. By the way, there's more with Chris and Mel, Danny and Renee from Lethal Weapon 4. Just point and click your way to ET Online.
Wishbone is public TV's favorite four-footed star. No offense to Barney, who of course walks on two legs. Wishbone is following in the footsteps of Rin Tin Tin and Lassie and heading out for feature-length adventure. And we couldn't think of a better news hound to put on the story than E.T.'s Chris Raggi.
So, Mr. Henry, may I call you O?
Wishbone, talking dog who has a hit kids show on PBS, now stars in his own movie on video, Wishbone's Dog Days of the West. So I tracked down the clever canine on one of his days off to try to talk to him about it.
Woohoo! Try to catch me, try to catch me.
Wishbone, I've got to conduct this interview. Don't make this tough on me.
Woo! I'll tell you what, I'm going to stay for about 2 seconds, and then I'm going to run away again.
Okay, Wishbone, enough playing. We have to sit down, and we have to conduct a very serious interview. I'm going to let you play here. I'll meet you over at the bench.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Come on, 5 more minutes. Chris, seriously. So, seriously, how do you get an agent in this town?
I figure a star like yourself, you must have hundreds of collies and golden retrievers chasing after you. Are you seeing anyone at this present time?
Well, you know, Chris, I think that there are at least some parts of my life that I have to keep private.
We got 10 miles to go and we're out of post.
With a show that's been on the air for 2 years and a new movie, Wishbone could let his doggy stardom go to his head. Now, you're not surprised by your success. I mean, your star is really on the rise.
Well, you know, I try to keep a cool head about it. Don't want to get too bent out of shape about being a star. Don't want to make a big deal about it. Although I'm going to have to leave here in just a few minutes and go to my air-conditioned trailer. My masseuse is arriving in about an hour, and I need a pedicure. And you'll have to excuse me now because there's something I've really been wanting to go check out since I've been here, and I think I found it.
Is it red?
It might be. Chris, it's nice talking to you, pal, but duty calls. Say hi to everybody at ET for me, will you?
Dogs and fire hydrants. Do me a favor, just keep the Broadcasting Hall of Fame on hold for just 2 minutes to finish this up. You know, Wishbone just turned 10 a month and a half ago. Happy birthday, Wishbone. He's doing pretty good for a canine senior citizen, I guess. Wishbone's Dog Days of the West is in video stores now. Tony, Jan, I must say I highly recommend this rental. It's good.
Love the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I wasn't
adorable.
bad.
And you were cute, too.
Stop talking to dogs.
Yeah.
You guys try it.
Yeah, well, you broke all the rules. You know, you're not supposed to work with dogs or children.
That's true.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Now, Wishbone is not the only pint-sized star out to snare your kids' attention this summer. The classic children's heroine, Madeline, is headed for the big screen, and the movie's young star is showing some classic style.
Aren't you hungry? I've suddenly lost my appetite. You see, this chicken was a friend of mine. I met him earlier in the car. I think I'm a vegetarian.
She stars as the adventurous redhead who lives at a school run by Frances McDormand. And for young British actress Hattie Jones, playing Madeline is a lot like playing herself.
But I can be cheeky and I can be mischievous. I'm quite like her, I suppose.
9-year-old Hattie was chosen over 4,000 other girls in a worldwide search. It's her first film and took her on location to Paris.
It was quite interesting for me. It was hard at times because I had to work, and sometimes you got really tired. But most of the time it was really fun. I need a home too.
Madeline, you will always have a home.
Hattie says McDormand helped her with acting and made things comfortable for all the girls on the set.
She's a really nice person. She's really nice to us girls. And she's a really good actress. And I really enjoyed it with her.
Oh, she is so cute. Madeline opens on Friday. The summer '98 issue of Kid Style magazine is on newsstands now.
Next on E.T.
Oh, don't make a face, please. Don't embarrass me on national television.
It's the softer side of Judge Judy as we go home to meet her grandkids, her kids, and the one man who stands up to her.
He's kinder to me.
Well, you're richer.
That's true.
Next on E.T.
That's correct.
Good. Now, say nothing. You're really ticking me off, sir. You're really ticking me off, sir.
She's tough as nails on the bench, but behind that gavel-banging demeanor, Judge Judy is just like any mom. And I hope my mom's watching this. The queen of the TV court is a shining star with her husband and kids at home in the best of the Entertainment Tonight cover story.
I treat Jerry pretty much the same way as I've treated him since the day I met him. Wonderfully. And he's damn lucky. I felt he was lucky before, and I think he's twice as lucky now.
TV's legal eagle, Judge Judy, feels right at home dispensing justice with her trademark style.
I assume you have the money today?
No, I do not.
Well, you better get it. Do you work?
But when she's not bringing order to her California court, Judy retires to her country home in upstate New York, where she can be close to her family.
This is the most beautiful lake.
And when she invited E.T. for a visit, we discovered her life with husband Jerry hasn't changed much since she became a star, with a few exceptions.
He's kinder to me.
Well, you're richer.
That's true.
You see, Jerry is also a judge, and the couple first met when they were both young attorneys.
Suddenly, Judy came into the bar, and everyone turned around and said, "Oh, here she is." And I turned and I looked at her, and I said to myself immediately, "I think I love her." And she looked at me, and we stared at each other as she walked into the bar. And she took her finger, and she put it right in my face, and she said, "And who is that?" And I said, "Lady, get your finger out of my face."
That's how we met.
22 years later, and with 5 kids, they're still going strong. And despite Judy's busy production schedule, which finds her taping in California for weeks at a time, the couple say their bond is stronger than ever.
She leaves for a week. It's just about the time that I miss her, she comes home. And I open the door, and there she is, and we're happy to see each other.
Just a second. I thought you called me and told me I'm missing you already.
Well, I said what?
I'm missing you already. I just got there. You said I'm missing you already. That's what you said. Oh, you forgot that.
I forgot that.
All right.
As for who wields the gavel at home, you be the judge.
I came home last week from a hard day in court. She was home from California. She said, "Jerry, take out the garbage." And I looked at her and I said, "Judy, I happen to be a justice of the Supreme Court." And she said to me, "Jerry, put on your robe and take out the garbage," which is what I did.
Oh, don't make a face, please. Don't embarrass me on national television.
With 4 grandchildren to keep them busy when they're off the bench, this is one couple who isn't letting a little bi-coastal commute influence their verdict on a happy life together.
Our marriage is going to last forever.
For twice as long as it would ordinarily have, since we're only together half the time. It's wonderful.
Husband Jerry wanted to move to California to spend more time with his wife while she tapes the show. The judge ruled against her husband because, she jokes, when it comes to divorce, unlike New York, California is a community property state. And you talk about one tough cookie.
Absolutely, and always the judge.
Absolutely.
Even at home. Well, if you think there are fireworks at Judge Judy's place, just wait. Next on E.T.
3, 2, 1.
I think fireworks bring out the child in all of us.
And now a new documentary shows how they make the magic. Plus, a rare look inside the Kennedy family's private retreat with RFK's son Max and the details of the family reunion he's planning.
There's 30 cousins, and I think there are 45 great-grandchildren. So, I mean, we're up to 80, I guess.
Next on E.T.
Which network anchor promised a junior high school class he'd pay their college tuitions if they graduated? Is it Geraldo Rivera, Tom Brokaw, or Peter Jennings? The answers and the birthdays next on Entertainment Tonight. Closed captioning provided by...
Hey, Meineke's not just mufflers, they're also your one-stop for brakes.
At Meineke, you won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
E.T.'s best birthday wishes to these Yankee Doodle dandies born on the 4th of July. Which network anchor promised a junior high school class he'd pay their college tuitions if they graduated? It's Geraldo Rivera. He kept his promise. He paid $180,000 for the college educations of the 9 students who made it all the way. Geraldo's 55. Eva Marie Saint is 74. Ann Landers turns 80, and so does her twin sister, Abigail Van Buren. You know her as Dear Abby.
On Sunday, Shirley Knight is 62 and Catherine Hellman is 64.
Americans have been shooting off fireworks on the 4th of July for more than 100 years. Now a new TV special finally reveals the secrets behind the spectaculars.
3, 2, 1.
It's a holiday that celebrates the independence of America. It's patriotic, and all across the country on July 4th, it's very, very big, thanks to some spectacular fireworks.
I think fireworks bring out the child in all of us.
With thousands of shows hitting the skyline from coast to coast, the competition to be bigger and better gets more intense every year.
Standing by for firing cues, board is armed.
The people enjoy it because of the mystery. You can look at the stars and every night they're going to be in the same place, but you can launch a 6-inch shell and you're not quite sure exactly what it's going to do until it actually performs. So there's some connection with fire and man that's gone back since the beginning of time.
It started centuries ago when the Chinese mixed saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal into bamboo tubes. Later, the Italians fine-tuned the displays, and now sophisticated electronics controlled the show. A 1-hour documentary on the Discovery Channel called Fireworks takes us behind the scenes deep into the nerve centers of these spectaculars. An ancient art is now designed with computer programs and animation. As beautiful as they make the sky, these pyrotechnics are still lethal. From shells mixed with explosive powder fired from mortars, but to the brave souls who ply their trade year after year in these trenches, it's all worth it come the 4th of July.
If you don't feel that coming back from the audience, you're in the wrong business.
Oh, I'm such a kid for fireworks. Fireworks premieres Sunday evening on cable's Discovery Channel.
For JFK and Jackie, it was a refuge from a world that wanted to know everything, the Kennedy compound at Hyannisport. Now it's a sanctuary for a new generation of Kennedys, including John Jr. and his wife Carolyn. Rarely have outsiders been allowed inside. But as America marks the 30th anniversary of the death of Robert F. Kennedy, his son Max takes us behind the gates of Camelot in the best of the Entertainment Tonight cover story.
I do remember being with him, which is the important thing. And I wanted to be able to hand that along to my own children so that they would have more of a connection to who he was.
These are understandably difficult days for Max Kennedy. He is thinking about the father he lost when he was just 3.
I love my father, and I admire my father, and I admire very much the way my father lived his life.
So, one weekend recently, Max and his wife Vicki brought their children to a place that was always special to his dad, the Kennedy compound on Cape Cod.
My son is just a little older than I was when my father was killed, and they're just reaching the age now where they're really just beginning to think of that.
This how you feed our hands, right, Daddy?
For his children and a larger audience, too, Max has compiled his father's writings in the new book, Make Gentle the Life of This World. The title is from a Greek poem Bobby quoted the day Martin Luther King was murdered. Promoting the book has put Max, a Philadelphia prosecutor turned professor of literature and law, into a spotlight he has avoided.
Until today.
That day, he gave E.T. a rare glimpse into the legendary cluster of homes that was once the capital of Camelot.
That's just a painting that my Aunt Jackie made for my mother. This is a painting of my mother's house in Virginia. You see, she's drawn all of my older brothers trying to lasso their governess here.
There are 3 homes in the compound. John Jr. and Caroline have one, Max's mother Ethel another, and the original home that once belonged to Joseph and Rose Kennedy is now Ted's. Max spoke to us from the porch.
We grew up in a well-to-do family.
But, he says, that well-to-do family stressed certain ethics.
The most fulfilling way to live our lives is to try to give something back to our community or to our friends or to society or to the country in some way.
It also stressed the importance of family.
I love my cousins and my brothers and sisters so much, and we have so much fun when we're together.
This month, he says they'll all gather here for one big reunion.
There's 30 cousins, and I think there are 45 great-grandchildren. And then there's the aunts and uncles, so, I mean, we're up to 80, I guess.
But missing will be his brother Michael. His death in a skiing accident has left the family in grief.
It's difficult. I think it's difficult. It's very difficult and painful for all of us. But you know, we go on as he would have wanted us to go on.
He is part of a family that knows tragedy well, that looks at what has happened and wonders what might have been.
If the question is, would the world be different today if my father had lived, I think the answer is definitely yes.
And he hopes you'll see that in his book.
My hope would be that people would be able to pick up this book and be able to take from it something of who my father was.
The book that Max Kennedy edited is called Make Gentle the Life of This World, and it's in bookstores now.
Next on E.T. A broadcast premiere from country music's husband and wife superstars, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Next on E.T.
Monday on Entertainment Tonight, she wanted to look like Hollywood's most beautiful, so she spent more money on plastic surgery than anyone else on Earth.
I've had 3 facelifts, silicone cheek implants, 2 chemical peels, liposuction from the waist to the knees.
Eyes like Christy, nose like Elle, how she went from this to this. Meet the poster girl for plastic surgery. Plus, we're there as Chris Rock poses for the cover of Vanity Fair, Monday on Entertainment Tonight.
Also Monday on E.T., TV's top angel takes to the stage in Hollywood. We'll bring you Della Reese's Holiday Weekend Musical Spectacular, Monday.
We're going to leave you with a broadcast premiere from husband and wife country stars Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. It's their new video, Just to Hear You Say That You Love Me. Have a great 4th of July weekend.
Make it a safe one.
Baby, baby.